So I want you guys to think about your favorite restaurants. And I want you to think about the first time you ever ate in that restaurant. I remember the first time I ate my favorite restaurant in LA. It was actually long before I even knew I'd be moving to LA. A couple years ago, I was visiting a friend in Culver City. He said, we have to go try this cool new restaurant in Los Feliz. You're gonna love it. And the first time I had the burger there, I was completely hooked. So I'm here to tell you guys today about the magistry of umami. And there's three central reasons why I think umami and umami burgers, their central product, are amazing. The first is taste. The second reason is the freshness of their ingredients related to the taste. And also convenience of the restaurant and the burgers themselves. Convenience really meaning that they really serve to please all the customers. So you probably fall into one of two categories right now. Either you've been to Umami and you know what I'm talking about, you love their burgers, or you've never been before, in which case my goal is to persuade you guys to go. And I guess technically there's a third group that's been to Umami but doesn't like the burgers, but I'm going to choose to disregard and pretend those people don't exist right now just for the sake of argument. And if you're in the first camp and you've been there and you agree with me, you love it, why should I pay attention? Well, I appreciate your attention, and I think that you'll learn some cool umami trivia and facts along the way. So to understand umami and why umami is so delicious, let's take a step back for a second. Let's understand its namesake, the basic flavor of umami. So umami, the restaurant, the burger, is named after umami, which is one of the 5 basic tastes, along with sweet, sour, salty, and bitter. And it's hard to describe that specific taste, right? It's like calling salt salty. But essentially, umami is a combination of all the other flavors. And it literally translates into sweet, pleasant, savory taste. And essentially, it's a flavor enhancer. So for the sake of time, I'm not going to go into all of their burgers in umami. Let's just focus on the classic, staple, landmark product, the umami burger. So the umami burger, let's construct the umami burger. It starts with a buttery brioche that's branded with the signature umami U. They then add shiitake mushrooms, caramelized onions, roasted tomatoes, and a Parmesan crisp. And it really all adds to this umami taste, this umami combination. But a burger is not a burger without the beef, right? And that's where umami really comes to shine. So umami's beef is only prime cut steaks, and it's ground in a large grind. I don't know if you can see here in the picture, but certainly if you were there, you'd see that there's a certain distinction to the texture of the umami burger. And that really maintains the integrity of the steak. They then sprinkle umami dust into the mixture, which is a combination of shiitake mushroom dust and other ingredients that again adds to that umami flavor. And then they top the burger off with homemade umami ketchup, which is entirely unique and entirely delicious. Now, I'm not the only one that thinks umami is awesome and it tastes amazing. Desiree here on Yelp says, I can sum this place up in one short sentence. The best burger I've ever eaten in my entire life on earth. That is all. The umami burger is the food of gods. I can't wait to try something else next time. So you've got me, you've got Desiree, but let's get somebody with a little bit more jurisdiction. And let's try GQ. Umami burger named Burger of the Year, 2010. The next thing I want to talk about that makes umami amazing is the freshness of its ingredients. So that beef patty that's ground in the large grind, well, it's ground every hour and a half. And just think about that for a second. A restaurant you go into for a hamburger, they actually, in the back, grind their beef every hour and a half to keep it that fresh. That's pretty cool, I think. All the produce is sourced locally. And all the sauces and all the cheeses on the burgers are actually made from Umami's very own commissary in downtown LA. Again, homemade from scratch. And by the way, that beef is, of course, as any West Side LA establishment, right, or any LA establishment, hormone-free, veggie-fed, all the rest. And my last point is the convenience of the umami burger, which you can interpret in different ways. But there are a couple ways. So when I moved out to LA, like on the East Coast, there's no such thing as, there's a certain burger snobbery, I guess is what I'm trying to say in LA, which I recognize when I'm out here. If you go to Father's office, right, which is highly acclaimed for their burgers, you can't get any substitutions, you can't get anything on the side. I'm like, what the heck's going on here? Right? I've never had their burger because I don't eat pork or cheese, and they refuse to even put it on the side. But Umami manages to have the high quality without the snobbery, which I think is really impressive. At Umami, you can get any burger made into a veggie burger, so it's vegetarian friendly, and you can get any of their homemade sauces put on any of the burgers. Then they've got a huge variety of burgers as well, right? They've got a lamb burger, a turkey burger, a tuna burger, a cod burger. They even had a burger on a special menu a few weeks ago that was $100 Money's No Object, the M&O burger, which I thought was pretty cool. And the last point about their convenience is just that they're located all over the map of LA in all central locations, right? So I'm sure if you guys think, if you know Umami at all, you can think of it, there's a location right near you. And they're actually growing like nuts. So in conclusion, you guys should definitely check out Umami for its freshness, for its taste, and for its convenience. And you really have no excuses, right? Later this year, they're opening one in Westwood. Thank you.